700 years ago, an astronaut vanished from history. His ship was torn apart in the vast emptiness of space, and what followed was never written in any book, never recorded in any timeline. What if I told you he didn't die? That he crashed into a world no human had ever seen, a place where time itself bends, and where he survived for centuries, waiting for us. Today we uncover a forgotten story, one that blurs the line between legend and truth, between man and myth. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear will change the way you see history forever. 700 years ago, when the world was still learning to map its oceans and skies, a secret mission was launched into the unknown. An astronaut whose name has been lost to history left Earth on a journey meant to change the future of humanity. His ship was unlike anything the world had ever seen, a fusion of early engineering and visionary imagination built to withstand the void of space. But fate had a cruel twist prepared. Somewhere beyond the stars, turbulence ripped apart his vessel, and he was thrown across the dark emptiness into a place no human had ever reached before. He did not crash back on Earth. Instead, he fell into an alien world, untouched, unrecorded, and shrouded in eternal silence. The ground where his craft shattered was rich with strange minerals, the air heavier, the skies painted in alien shades. His body survived, but his spirit trembled. Alone, surrounded by nothing familiar, he realized he was both the first explorer of this world and its first prisoner. Days turned into weeks as he wandered, collecting food from trees that glowed at night and drinking from rivers that whispered strange hums. Every step he took felt like he was walking deeper into a legend. He carved marks into rocks to measure time, but soon, time itself became meaningless. He could no longer tell if days were passing or centuries. The loneliness pressed upon him like the weight of the entire universe. One night, under a sky crowded with moons, he saw movement, shadows watching him from the distance. Fear gripped him. Were they creatures of this land? Spirits? Or echoes of his own madness? Slowly, figures emerged, tall and luminous, with eyes like liquid silver. They did not speak with mouths, but with thoughts, echoing inside his head. They were not hostile. They were curious. For them, he was the crash that disturbed their eternal slumber, a visitor from a violent world of wars and machines. The astronaut tried to explain who he was, what Earth was, why he had come. They listened without judgment, yet their silence was heavy. He realized these beings lived in a harmony beyond comprehension, untouched by greed, untouched by war. In their presence, he felt both small and ashamed of the world he had left behind. But deep within, he also felt hope that maybe humanity's flaws could be mended if only it learned from such beings. Years passed, or perhaps centuries. The astronaut's body did not age as it should have. The atmosphere, or perhaps the energy of these creatures, preserved him. He became a legend among them, a living relic of a distant, broken planet. He walked among their temples, carved into crystal mountains, watched cities rise not from stone but from light itself. Yet a part of him remained restless, haunted by memories of Earth, its oceans, its skies, and the loved ones who would never know what became of him. One day they revealed to him the truth of their world. It was not just a planet, it was a bridge, a place where time bent and history rewrote itself. The crash that had brought him here was no accident. The universe itself had chosen him, pulling him across centuries to become a witness of what humanity could become, or what it might destroy. The astronaut longed to return, to carry this knowledge back to Earth. But the beings told him softly, return is not the purpose, transformation is. The words struck him deeply. He realized he was not meant to be a messenger. He was meant to be a seed, planted in this strange soil, so that one day, his story would echo across the stars and reach those who searched for truth. And so he stayed. He watched civilizations rise and fall on this alien land, watched beings evolve into pure energy, drifting like auroras across the skies. He walked through ages that no human could ever endure, yet he endured. The weight of his solitude became his strength. He was no longer a man, he was history itself, breathing, waiting. Far away, on Earth centuries passed. Kingdoms collapsed, wars scarred continents, and technology grew until men once again reached for the stars. They thought they were pioneers, but they did not know that one of their own had already paved the path 700 years ago in silence. His crash had been erased from human memory, yet it lived in the heart of a distant world. Legends whispered among the alien race that one day the stars would open and another ship would arrive. When it did, they would know humanity had reached the threshold of destiny. And when that day finally came, when explorers from Earth unknowingly set foot on that soil, they found not ruins, not emptiness, but a figure waiting, his eyes weary yet shining with centuries of wisdom. They could not believe it. An astronaut still alive after 700 years, standing before them like a ghost of their own future. His words trembled, but carried the weight of eternity. I crashed here when your world was still young, and I have been waiting for you. The silence that followed was heavier than any storm. The explorers realized they were not the first. Their history was incomplete. The man before them was both survivor and prophecy, proof that time bends and destiny is larger than planets. For the astronaut, it was not just a reunion, it was the fulfillment of his purpose. The solitude, the centuries of silence, the whispers of alien wisdom, all of it had led to this moment. He had lived so humanity could find him, and in him, a reflection of what they could become. His story is not written in books, nor recorded in official history. It lives in the shadows of forgotten time, carried in the hearts of those who heard him speak. 700 years ago, he fell. But in that fall, he rose to become more than a man. He became a bridge between worlds, a living reminder that the universe holds secrets too vast, too haunting, and too beautiful for us to ever forget. And that is the forgotten story of the astronaut who crashed 700 years ago, only to become a living bridge between two worlds. If this story gave you chills, imagine how many more secrets are still hidden in history, waiting to be uncovered. Don't miss them. Hit subscribe right now, share this video with your friends, and let me know in the comments what you think really happened to him. Your support helps us bring you more stories filled with mystery, emotion, and suspense. Stay connected, because the next story might just change the way you see the world forever.